Welcome everyone to Karmic Dynasty. We are here today streaming on multiple platforms. Tribe Up 777999 on the YouTube channel of the Emperor of Karmic Dynasty, Abdiel Ben Levi El. We are also streaming to the platforms of Khepra Ptah on Facebook. I appreciate you all being here today. We are here to discuss a Sip of Astrology's series. Topic today is house readings by zodiac sign and explanations. I have with me today a PowerPoint prepared, and I'm gonna be right in the PowerPoint. So directly in the PowerPoint working today. So we're going to see some pointers on the screen like this. Pointers on the screen. Is it there? Yeah, redirecting you all around as we go. As I prepare to establish today's class lesson plan, I need everyone, if you're going to be participating today, it'd be great. I ain't gonna say I need you to. It'd be great if everyone, you have some sheets of paper, lined paper, construction paper, blank paper, printer paper, copy paper, some pens, pencils, colored pens would be great. Pencils, erasers, protractor, compass, because you see this circle on your screen with the telescope sitting on top. We are going to be learning about houses today. And I would like for us all to have a chart of some type method before we leave here today. So we are discussing birth charts, but everyone may not be able to have their birth chart, but you want to participate in some manner. I do have activities for everyone. So everyone get prepared. You have time to listen and go accumulate your supplies. So writing utensils and paper and any tools you need to create circles. I know when I created my birth chart, I used a small cup for my inner circle, the bottom of the cup. I used a cereal bowl for the outer circle, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll do that. I also have some screens prepared to help people freehand their circles and their graphs, their visuals. What else do I need us all to know before we get started today? We'll probably be here maybe 2 hours today. There's a lot to cover just in houses. This is also my first time. This is my first time having an astrology class out loud in public, definitely online out loud in public. Now, as we move along through the class, my intention is to be on a middle ground with the audiences and people who are watching this and in the replay. There is always the option to fast forward and rewind. If for any reason you would like to be a part of my astrology group class and or have individual class, just let me know. My contact information is in the banner below. And I will work with you individually, as I mentioned, or you can be a part of one of my group classes. Or you can bring yourself and a few other people, create your own group. That happens as well. Okay. But either way, if there's any questions, just contact me. I do my best to accommodate everyone. I will make something happen. I'll do my best to make it happen. All right. So going into today's PowerPoint, I have two PowerPoints I'm sharing. One is just for the visuals of the signs once we get to the signs. I'm not about to create a whole new PowerPoint just for pictures of the Zodiac animals and the zoology of all of that. We're building a birth chart today of some manner. That's the first thing we're doing. We will be discussing angular houses, for example, ascendant, descendant, midhaven, first house, seventh house, 10th house. And I will have readings for the fourth house, seventh house, and 10th house. So this all sounds like a lot right now, but I know, you know, Karmic Dynasty, you know me, I'm going to step by step us through this process. So don't be overwhelmed, but I must give you all a heads up. I did not come here to jump anybody. This is what the plan is. So between looking at the makeup of a birth chart and where the houses fit into the chart, also doing readings per sign for 3 different houses and our activities, I do anticipate 2 hours. If I must, I will just create a part 2 on houses. I am approaching this astrology class from the point of view of a beginner, a person starting out, a person wanting to know and learn. But sometimes some of the terminology and things attached to the learnings, it gets a little in the advanced area, but we're not going to stay in the advanced area. I just will mention some things so that on your own, you can look ahead and add to your studies through your own study patterns. Okay. All right. So first, we're going into the PowerPoint. First PowerPoint, main PowerPoint. Now, as this says, as we're approaching this, there is no pressure, no pressure. Don't let the pressure in. Everybody relax. Y'all got y'all tools, paper, writing materials, protractor, compass, cereal bowls, teacups, et cetera, et cetera. The first sentence and how we're approaching this PowerPoint, this class, is to remember that astrology is a fascinating blend of symbolism, interpretation, and personal insight. Each one of these 3 elements is an individual experience. What symbolism means to you, it may not mean the same to everyone else. It definitely doesn't. Remember that. Interpretation is definitely a key when approaching astrology, and your own personal insight. When, for example, when you have a birth chart, a chart reading, the person reading your chart can give you an overview, but the fact that it is your personal experience talking about your life, that is your personal insight. And in your private time, you can definitely add more to your birth chart. And or if you don't share it with the person reading your chart. So remember that astrology is a fascinating blend of symbolism, interpretation, and personal insight. We're moving forward. A birth chart is simply a physical map of the sky where all the planets work in relation to the sun at the exact moment you were born. That's all a birth chart is simply a physical map of the sky. We will be discussing the southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere, where the things are seen and unseen. We'll be discussing that The things down here, we'll discuss that. I'm moving ahead. Okay. So a birth chart, as I said, no pressure. Relax, everyone, relax. A birth chart is simply a physical map of the sky where all the planets were in relation to the sun at the exact moment you were born. Okay, we have the sun here in the center on the horizon, which is this line here in the sky. And on the chart, the sun is represented here. Here. This is something else. So let's move forward. The 12 astrological houses represent different areas of life. Each house is associated with a specific zodiac sign, showcasing a unique energy that influences the matters related to that house. Addressing the audience right now, while everyone processes where we're at so far, and give you all more time to get your materials together. And we have homework. So prepare for your homework and have it ready for next class. Hey, Cody up here. My moderator's in here from his YouTube channel. Hey, Cody. My BFF, she's in here. Kate Croft is 99. My moderators, the whole 9 yard. Right quick, I need for us also to know that these classes, I had talked to someone the other day preparing for today's class, and they were asking me how much is the class. I do not charge for my classes for the most part. So I have no issue bringing my class out in public to the platform. Johnson in here on his YouTube channel, Sage in the house. Oh, is that Sage in the house? I thought you were calling me a Sage. Sage in the house. Yes, Sage in the house. Who the Sage? You the Sage. Let's go. We're going to talk about these signs too in brief today. But our next class, so that y'all prepared, our next class, whether this house's class is a part 1 or part 2, and a part 1, and a part 2. Our next class is going to be on the planets. And our third class is going to be on the signs. So that's our agenda. The houses, the planets, the signs, and then we'll move on from there. But right now, of course we will. But for right now, there's enough information for y'all. I need everybody to stay with me. Let's go. All right. So in these houses, the houses are numbered. We'll discuss this a few times. The houses are numbered counterclockwise, 1 through 12. The first house, again, these are personal insights, interpretations. So what you may know or study in your time, in studying your personal moments, you will not definitely see these exact explanations for each house, but they have the same general overview, same meaning, generally speaking. So let's go to house 1. Let's look at it right quick. While everybody's still getting their papers, writing utensils, and other tools together, we creating these charts today. We're going to start them. In each class, we want to build on these charts together, or you can work ahead, or you can contact me and I'll work on your chart with you one-on-one. We're going to stay together as a class. House 1, self. House 1 means self. Appearances, beginnings, first impressions, your attitude. House 2 represents money, values, work, environment, daily routines. Anybody taking notes? You don't have to write all this down. I'm not big on selling PowerPoints. Y'all can take screenshots for free I'm not a fan of selling PowerPoints. Y'all know I don't be in y'all's pocket. Speaking of money, house 2, money. Take a screenshot or run back the video or something. Also, anyone has I'd like for everyone to be prepared to have copies of these charts we're going to work on today, because there are different activities and different types of astrology. So as you study, you can have templates prepared and ready. Okay, so if you have access to a printer, when you get your base chart, your empty chart, I would ask that you copy it, make copies, make like 8, 12 copies at first. Okay. And if you have to hand draw them, by the time you get to the third one, you'll be better. And definitely by the time you get to drawing your 12th chart, blank chart, you'll be that expert. If you need that long. We're moving on to house 3. Connections, siblings, friends, neighbors, community. House 4, home, roots, family, your emotional foundation. House 5, romance, play, self-expression, creativity. House 6, health, fitness, organization, acts of service. House 7, relationships, mutuality, sharing, marriage. House 8, intimacy, sex, bonding, shared money, and property. House 9, higher learning, travel, study, morals, and ethics. Speaking of higher learning, now for anybody who needs an advanced, you passed all this, you got it, or go to the Karmic Dynasty playlist. There's videos there for you. The playlist is astrology. The playlist is labeled with the 12 Zodiac glyphs. So go in the Karmic Dynasty playlist on YouTube. Look for the playlist that has the 12 Zodiac glyphs and go in there and browse around through the astrology related videos on the platform before the day of these classes beginning and continuing. All right, house 10, career, goals, achievements, fame, success, public image. House 11, groups, friends, social causes, society. House 12, appropriately, endings, healing, closure, spirituality. I'm reading the caption again. The 12 astrological houses represent different areas of life. Each house is associated with a specific zodiac sign, showcasing a unique energy that influences the matters related to that house. Everyone ready? Prepared? Move along. Next slide. Let's go. Keywords. Again, we're looking at the difference between expressions and interpretations of astrology. So in this example, first house, self, life, body. Second house, possessions, money, material circumstances, livelihood. Third house, local movement, short journeys, communication, school, siblings. Fourth house, home, family, roots, parent. Fifth house, creativity, children, romance, entertainment. Sixth house, health, service, work, routine. Seventh house, partners, marriage, open enemies. House 8, sex, death, inheritances, others' money, loss. Ninth house, travel, higher education, religion, spirituality, law. 10th house, career, social position, dominant, parent. 11th house, friendships, associations, aspirations. 12th house, hidden matters, the unconscious, clandestine relationships, secret enemies, seclusion. That clandestine, tomato, tomato. Let's roll. All right. Now, again, this may feel like what you want to call it. This is a lot of information. It may be a little to some, a little or a lot. Interpretation left up to you. I am giving this information again so people can have time to gather their papers and writing utensils and tools, etc. And so when we start identifying the houses in these blank charts that we all will be drawing, you have foresight on what that blank chart will fill in and look like. And I'm continuing on right now with giving you a heads up on what this chart is going to look like when you're done. So relaxed. Thank you, class. Thank you, class. House expression. The angular houses, 1, 4, 7, 10, are associated with a self-activating quality and have an immediate impact on the structure of one's life. Okay, so we are looking at house 1, house 4, house 7, and house 10. These are the angular houses. And they are associated with self-activating quality and have an immediate impact on the structure of one's life. The key word for the angular houses is action. Action. These houses are representative of the cardinal signs. These houses are often given more attention in a chart than other houses because they form the angular aspects. The AC, which is the ascendant. These are abbreviations, acronyms. The ascendant, the Imam Chayli, the descendant, and the midhaven. And these respectively, we're looking at the 1, 4, 7, and 10 houses on the top line. These are respectively those houses down here. The ascendant is the first house, the AC. The Imam Chayli is the 4th house. And we're going to talk more about these in today's presentation, in today's class. The 7th house, DC, is descendant. And the 10th house is the midhaven, the MC. And these are almost as important as the planets. Everyone prepared to move forward? Okay. The succeeding houses are house 2, house 5, house 8, and house 11. These are associated with individual desires and the areas of life we want to control and consolidate. The key word for this type of house is security. So up here in the angular houses, we have action. In the succeeding houses, we have security. These houses are representative of the fixed signs. So the angular houses address the cardinal signs. These houses address the fixed signs, which means in the cadent houses, we have the remaining 4 houses. The key word is learning, and they are representatives of the mutable signs. And we will be discussing these also. Where are we at? Okay. So the cadent houses, 3, 6, 9, and 12 are areas. I'm on the last paragraph down here. Areas where there is input exchange, and distribution of thoughts and observations. The key word for these houses is learning. These houses are representative of the mutable signs. All right, we got our notes. Cardinal signs, fixed signs, mutable signs. Action, security, and learning. Keywords: angular, succeeded, and cadent. And the angular houses are 1, 4, 7, 10. That's the ascendant, the Imam Chali, the descendant, and the midhaven. All right. And then we have house 2, house 5, house 8, and house 11. Etc. Key points. Everyone prepared to move forward? Okay, let's move forward. The birth chart is divided into 4 hemispheres: the northern, southern, eastern, and western. We're going to look at these in another order, and we'll see why. But first, when we're working today, we're going to start with the eastern hemisphere. All right. So the eastern hemisphere is the left half. Over here, where I'm pointing out in this image here. Okay. The eastern hemisphere, the left half, is comprised of houses 1, 2, 3. So those are these 3 here. House 1 will always be right here, and we'll go into that later a little bit. So this eastern hemisphere also consists of 10th house, 11th house, and 12th house. So 1, 2, 3, 10, 11, 12. Or you can look at it as 10, 11, 12, and 1, 2, 3. However you want to look at it. But this left half is the eastern hemisphere. People, and this is the part I'm about to read now, is for the next class, which is on the planets. So this is some information for those that want to work ahead. But it also relates to the houses, so we're looking at them right now. People with the majority of planets in this hemisphere, over here, the eastern hemisphere, tend to be self-motivated, action-oriented, and believe strongly in free will. Next, we're going to look at the western hemisphere, which is the right half of the circle, and is comprised of the other houses in the chart, which is house 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, and 9. Individuals with most planets here on the right half of the circle of the chart are other-oriented, receptive, and consider the needs of others before taking action. Their lives may be perceived as more influenced by fate, although free will remains constant. Next, we are looking at the northern hemisphere, which is the lower half, and it consists of houses 1 through 6. The northern hemisphere holds houses 1 through 6. Everything below this line, which is known as the horizon. We'll look at that also in a few. This portion of the chart down here is personal and subjective, impacting the development of our personalities. And then there's the southern hemisphere, which is the upper half of the circle of the chart, and houses 7 through 12 are in this area. This part is social, objective, and collective, focusing on external events and interactions. Okay, we're looking, we're moving ahead. Thank you. Now, we must also know that as we are preparing and drawing our charts out, there will be some parts that have empty houses where there's not anything in this house, and or so it appears. Depends on how deep, how involved you look into your chart and the sky to apply the stars. But generally speaking, for a birth chart reading, some people don't have anything in a house or two, etc. Okay, so when you see an empty house or you're aware of an empty house, in astrology is referring to houses in someone's birth charts that do not contain any planets. So that's what that means. But also, not for anyone to worry. Remember, I said no stress, no pressure, because these birth charts are simply a picture of the sky at the moment you were born. That's it. Empty houses simply means that the areas of life that those houses represent do not have significant pull or focus in someone's life. That's all that simply means. Okay? Okay. Then there are intercepted houses. So when you see something like this in your chart and you're like, what does this mean? Because this is different. This is different right here. Intercepted houses is when there is a house that skips a sign. So for example, here we have, for those people that don't know yet, this symbol is Aries. It's cut off, but this is Aries. This is Taurus, and this is Gemini. And we're looking at the 11th house, the 12th house, and the first house. So back to our example. The 11th house is in Aries, and the first house is in Gemini. So Taurus would not have a house. No further explanation here would be why. So later we're going to look at the degrees, because there's 30 degrees in each zodiac sign, and there are 30 degrees in each house. Well, that's something else. That's something else. Never mind. 30 degrees in each zodiac sign. Okay. Now, the 0 point is here, and each notch, there's a word I'm right now working with. Either way, there's 30 degrees. So we have the 0, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, the 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 30 of these. This is the 0 point, and this is the 30 degree mark. And these are the cusps of the house. See how the 12 starts here, this line here, and this in Aries. And then the 12 ends here. The 12th house ends here in Gemini. There is no beginning of where the house begins or ends in Taurus. So down here at the bottom, I'm reading the last line, the last sentence. Taurus, 0 to 30 degrees. No parts between here and here appear on a house cusp. A house cusp is the line here. This is the cusp of the houses. Neither one of these lines appears in the Taurus zodiac. Appears nowhere between the 0 degrees and the 30 degrees. So this is called 12th house Taurus intercepted. So that means the 12th house, Taurus was skipped. There's no house. And Taurus does not have a house. Okay. I think I explained that as best as I can for right now. And where we at? Okay. Now, I'm right now about to share this screen, and we're going to look a little bit more at the degrees right now. Let's see where I want to go. Oh, hold on. I looked at that all wrong. Okay. Sharing this back again. I need to get back on my path. Here. The ascendant, because we're going to look at the ascendant next, but we also looking at degrees right now. The ascendant makes the first house cusp. So we already looked at the line. Here's an example. The first house cusp, the cusp is the line that separates two different sections. So the cusp is separating the 12th house from the first house, for example. Then each successive house cusp is exactly 30 degrees after the previous one. So we just addressed in brief the 30 degrees that's in each zodiac sign. There's 30 degrees. The cusp does all that. The advantage of this house system is that it works well from any point on Earth since the houses are always 30 degrees. That's that house system. And we're going to look at a birth chart. I brought two different versions of my birth chart into today's class. Room setting, so everyone can see how the houses are not exactly 30 degrees. And this is I'm sharing my tropical birth charts examples for today's class. All right. The houses. Okay. Over here, we're going to look right at an overview. For people who is moving further, we're going to look at the house rulers. First house ruler is Aries. I don't think I want to look at it. I don't want to go into that right now. That just looks a little bit off topic. Okay. So we are looking at, back at the PowerPoint, the horizon line. So this is where we are preparing. Everyone has their papers prepared. Y'all prepared to create y'all circles. Because for right now, for everyone to get going with their drawings, you holding your paper, you're like, okay, I got all my writing utensils. I need us all, let's say we're working with 8 by 10. What's the paper? 8 by 11, 8 by 10. Yeah, y'all know what I'm saying. Standard size printing paper, standard size ruled paper. I'm looking for an exact measurement because my mind right now. Yeah, 8 by 10. 8 by 10, 8 by 10 and a half. Paper. The circle you will want to take up just, let's see, we have maybe 1.5 inches margin on the sides and on the sides. We working with, excuse me, y'all, I'm looking for my materials. And this is the classroom. So we all shimmying and shaking and somewhere, moving around, leaving out, coming back with our materials. A lot of things going on right now. Let me mute my mic because y'all like her papers is loud. All right. So yeah, I would say on for your circle, leave 1.5 to 2 inch margin on the sides, so you have blank space to write the names of the signs or the houses numbers outside of the circle, or other notes, because we have some activities as well we're going to be working on. Okay. And then that leaves probably 3 to 4 inches on the top and bottom of your chart circle. So everyone, just one circle, just a circle. Don't fill in or add in any lines. Just draw one circle on your paper. Margins 1.5 to 2 on both sides. And probably, was it about 4 inches average on top and bottom of blank space. So you'll have plenty of space to write notes and other things. Okay. All right, let's move forward. We are discussing right now the horizon line. Now the horizon line is the horizontal line, and I'm reading as I'm pointing it out. Okay. The horizontal line dividing the chart represents the horizon. So if you'd like, but I'm going to show a few examples in just probably the next slide or two. So you can go ahead and put your horizon line in the middle now, or you can wait. Okay. All right. Planets above the horizon. Individuals with the majority of planets above the horizon tend to live let me start over. Planets above the horizon. So we're up here. And the planets are not on this chart. The only thing on this chart is the sun, which is identified as a planet, and the signs. We're not filling in any signs right now. Everybody's chart is different. So again, we just have blank circle right now. You can add in your horizon line if you'd like. That'd be great. And this horizon line represents the earth. So for people who want the earth in their chart, this is the earth right here. This represents the earth. Planets above the horizon. Individuals with the majority of planets above the horizon tend to live public lives. Their focus is on external experiences and interactions. Now, the planets below the horizon, and planets, again, is in our next episode. But we can't draw the horizon line without knowing the associations with it. Okay? So, planets below the horizon line. Those of you with planets below this horizon line is said to be more focused on your inner life and personal experiences. Now, earlier I mentioned the unseen and the seen concepts of the horizon. And in astrology, I'm reading this box right here. In astrology, the concept of the seen on the top part and the unseen of the horizon on the bottom part refers to the division of the birth chart based on the position of the planets and luminaries in relation to the horizon. So if you hear the term seen and unseen, that term is in relation to, again, the horizon and the division that it creates on the birth chart. And we already discussed the hemispheres. So right now we're looking at the southern one and the northern one down here. You ready? Move forward. Everyone? That's a yes. All right. Yes, 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 yes. Now, as you're drawing your horizon line, I am sharing one of my 2 examples of my birth chart. So here on my birth chart, you'll see the horizon line. All right. And for those of you who don't know, you're like, Her name is Joyous Ram. That's all for social media purposes. My name is, as you see on the screen, Tisha Nicole Turnipseed. That's my birth name. So that's what I'm gonna say. My birth name is Tisha Nicole Turnipseed. According to the chart, I was born Sagittarius. And we're gonna look at that as well because that's some controversy that has been one of the foundations of the topic of astrology on the Karmic Dynasty platform. And those of you watching from the other platforms of Khepra Ptah and Tribe Up 777999 on YouTube, I appreciate you all being here. And I'm leaving this here for everyone to study for a bit. So, information here when you're wanting your own chart. Ladies, ladies, you've been married, you changed your name, this is a point for you. Anyone whose name changed since birth, this is a point for you too as well. We're sharing this point. For your birth chart, you will need the name you were born with, not your married name, not your name you changed to later in life. You will need the name on your birth chart. And again, this is a tropical birth chart. All right. And you will also need your date of birth. My date of birth is here, November 24th, 1974. Y'all get my birthday gifts ready. Y'all got y'all got a couple months. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. All right. And you'll need your time of birth. Now, your time of birth is important because there are your time of birth is important because there are parts of your chart that you will have, depending on who's reading your chart, it will be hard to determine certain parts of your chart without the time of birth. With your time of birth, you will be able to receive a more complete chart. So a chart with more information on it. Okay. But charts are possible with your name and your date of birth. You will also need the location of your birth. Now, in some cases, some people don't know where they were born. And that's another part of the chart that will take means and measures to determine and possibly not able to determine at all. So y'all can study this. For those that don't know, Sagittarius is said is between November 22nd and December 21st. And that Sagittarians, Sag, are adventurers and travelers, seekers of new places, experiences, and ideas. They are honest and joyous, looking at the sunny side of life, sometimes so much that they don't see problems that are right in front of them. Like their symbol, the archer, their gaze is on higher ideas and distant targets, making them inspirational figures and enjoyable companions. So this is a screenshot of a chart reading that I got for free on tarot.com. It's right here in the corner. There are other references for birth charts. You want to get you one for free, we can address those later. In the meantime, or you can contact me and I'll give you a list of places you can get your birth charts, reading your birth charts for free. Some of them also come with the readings, and some people charge you to give you a reading of there's different types of readings. There's different types of chart readings. There's love readings, money, work, all kinds of stuff. So I am going to leave you all here briefly for a few moments to study in peace. And because I just keep talking. Y'all go ahead and check this out. All right, everyone's had a few moments to look at the chart. Remember, this is a classroom environment. So anyone here expecting to hear me talk for 2 straight hours, that's not happening. This is a classroom environment. We all need study time, time with self to take in this information and or get caught up and or get our horizon line on our circle, on our birth chart we're building over the course of this class. Okay. All right. Moving forward here. Now, these are a few examples of the chart wheel. Okay. So this gives you more of looking at what to expect in creating your birth chart, your chart wheel, because some of you will have the activity chart because you don't want to do a birth chart wheel, and or you don't have enough information quite yet to have the chart wheel you want. There's many reasons. So again, for people who are here and you want to participate in class, I do have an activity that you can take part in. So you can go ahead and create your chart wheel as well. So over here on this side, in the center point, we have the center, which the horizon line will go straight through here. Okay. And then looking at the examples of me assisting people to draw their lines on their chart, there's lines, these main lines here, that divide out to 12. You will see from these examples why, for example, you have your horizon line here. Now, with this open space, you may, and here as well, you may erase that portion of the line out because you don't want it in the center of your chart. Now, for people who use the bottom of the teacup or the cereal bowl for the outer ring, and then a bigger container or object for the outer circle, they won't have that line portion here. Now they would then have to figure out if they want straight lines, how to get it straight through here. They could use a piece of paper and lay it here and then just draw here, bypass the paper, and then finish their line over here. There's many methods to get your lines on your paper if you don't have like compasses and protractors and those type tools. So use what you got. Y'all know me, I make things happen. And I know, yeah, I had the top of a drinking cup for this ring and the cereal bowl for this outer ring. I don't remember what I used for my inner ring. And I also promise you, anyone that's seen my handwritten birth chart, my lines are not exact. I know what they mean. And that's all. I freehanded my chart. So these are some examples of what we're looking ahead to. Now, we're not going to be putting houses in our charts, for example. And I'm going to go back to my birth chart and show y'all why right quick. So when you have your blank circle for your charts prepared, then the signs would go in here. And then as you would add in the houses, I would suggest to put them in here. Again, moving back to look at these houses. So from my tropical chart, we can see here the 1 and 2, the measurements, they kind of off. House 3 and house 4 and 5 are a little bigger. They're bigger than house 1 and 2. So this is an example of the houses are not uniform in size. And then we have house 6. You see my house 7 right here is little. It's looking like house 1. And this also because they're opposite each other. A lot of things that happen in these houses too is because of the opposites reflect each other, such as the intercepted houses, for example. House 9 is bigger than house 7 and 8. House 10 is bigger than house 9. And I'm looking at the range here. See, on the cusp, this would be the 0 mark. The cusp. The cusp is that line that divides these houses. The line in between 11 and 12. Okay. And this is an example of why I would suggest that people don't draw lines, create houses on the chart like they have it here in this illustration. This is for other purposes. All right, that's some compare and contrast. We are about at the hour mark. And I think I'm on time for right now. On schedule, I would say. On schedule. What do I want to do? All right, so I addressed my tropical chart a few times. For people who are not sure what tropical means, and again, it's my intention not to talk over anyone's head. So if I address something and you're unsure, go ahead and put it in the comments and let me know. And or you have my phone number, you could text me. If it's something personal, I'll address it in general. You don't have to put it out there. Okay. And sometimes I'm pausing to check my phone because some of the class interaction is in my phone. So, and I mean by email and text or some other methods. So we have both the tropical and sidereal zodiacs. They both use 12 equal segments, divisions of the sky. The main difference lies in their reference points. Again, my birth chart example I have up here today is from a tropical birth chart point of view. The sidereal zodiac's reference point is the fixed stars of the constellations. And the tropical zodiac's point of reference is the celestial equator. Okay. Information. Okay, then we're going to look over here, and as it says, explore the differences between tropical and sidereal astrology charts. And we're going to look at this while everyone gets that horizon line on their circles, on their paper, their charts. Whether you're participating in the activity or the building of your birth chart, you'll need that horizon line. Okay, let's go. Tropical astrology, the basis, is based on the position of the sun relative to the Earth's seasons. It remains fixed in relation to the equinoxes and solstices. The zodiac signs. The tropical zodiac divides the year into 12 equal segments, each corresponding to a sign. Example, Aries and Taurus. Alignment. Tropical astrology aligns with the calendar months, making it more familiar to Western astrologers. Again, as I pointed out, there are different types of astrology, and this tropical is familiar mostly to Western astrologers. Western followers. Followers of Western astrology. However you want to look at it. It's good with me. Astronomical inaccuracy. However, it does not account for the changing positions of constellations due to Earth's axial precession. We're looking at sidereal astrology, and then we're going over to the PowerPoint presentation again. So the basis of sidereal astrology considers the actual position of fixed stars and constellations. It adjusts for the Earth's precession. Zodiac signs. The sidereal zodiac aligns with the actual positions of constellations in the sky. The actual positions. The sidereal astrology is commonly used in Vedic Indian astrology. You're interested in Vedic astrology? The Karmic Dynasty platform has had 2 Vedic teachers from that land of India on the platform. So you want to hear firsthand from someone in that area. The video is on the Karmic Dynasty platform on YouTube. In the playlist, marked astrology, by way of the 12 zodiac glyphs. Okay, you'll see that. You see the 12 zodiac glyphs in the Karmic Dynasty playlist on YouTube? Those videos are in there. Okay. Let's see. Yep, back to the PowerPoint. Now, we are looking at our papers at this point. Everyone has their horizon line, and I have mine. Here's mine. I did mine ahead of time. Okay. We are about to draw these additional lines on our charts. And again, I freehanded mine in the PowerPoint, so mine are not exact. You want yours exact? It means that to you. Go ahead and exact yours. I freehand things a lot, so but this horizon line, I promise, I swear, it's in the middle. All right. Now, the left side of the horizon line, we're looking at this area. The Eastern Hemisphere. The Eastern Hemisphere is always where you will find your ascendant. Remember from the overview earlier, the ascendant is the first house. I've shared different charts we looked at right here. For example, the first house starts right here on the Eastern Hemisphere of the chart, which again is simply just a picture of the sky at the moment you were born. Okay, the first house always starts right here. And this line represents your ascendant. First house equals ascendant. Did I share? Am I sharing? I am. Okay. Going back down here. So how the ascendant is formed is the point of this PowerPoint slide. Now, a perpendicular axis, perpendicular axis to the east represents your time of birth. And this again is the ascendant. This is how we know the ascendant sign. Perpendicular is 2 lines that cross to form right angles. So here we have the 2 lines. We will see that in a slide or 2 ahead in a little bit. The perpendicular is also illustrated here, where there's the line and then the line in the middle, and then we have the 90 degrees represented by this box in the corner, or the angle line and the 90 degrees right here. And all this conversation so far, we need a circle and a line in the middle. That's where we at. On your paper, a circle and a line across the middle that represents the horizon. And now we know that this perpendicular line, when you have your chart, represents the ascendant. So everyone going with the class rhythm right now, you only have two things on your paper, one line and one circle. That's where we're at. Everything else to this point has been a heads up to let you know the close to the finish line and where we're headed with today's presentation on paper, on your paper. And so you can prepare, be prepared. No pressure, no stress. All right. So without all that, them graphics on the last slide, simply again, the ascendant occupies your first house cusp. That's what this means. And this is also on that line with the horizon. Now, also, again, at this time, we're going to prepare to draw these lines for everybody who wants free-handed. Some people have tools to get their lines drawn. We're going into drawing these 12 lines. And again, these sections are for the sign, the zodiac signs. And that will be on episode 3. We have to get these charts up to date for today, which means building the framework, setting your foundation. Episode 2, class 2 will be about the planets, and class 3 will be about the signs. All right. Numbered 1 through 12 counterclockwise. That's what this example is for, and preparing us to freehand our lines. And everyone ready? Okay. Let's go. So again, we have the horizon line, one circle. And you'll notice as I draw my lines, they will start out black. And then as I'm prepared to move forward, then I colored it purple. Okay, then so on and so forth. But let's go. Next, my next line I drew was my line north to separate the east and west, and it's running from north to south. East, west, north, south. And I'm speaking of the hemispheres. So your paper will look like this right now. Drawing your lines. And where was it at? Remember, this is the outcome. So if you're drawing these straight lines straight through, you want to, when we're done, erase the center or cut out a blank piece of paper or something and glue it, sit it on top. We can make this a whole arts and crafts moment. Your chart is personal to you. Do it how you want, but this is the outcome. So as you're drawing your lines straight through, realize, if you haven't already, realize how you're going to get this center cleared out if you're going to want that clear center. All right. Now, so far we have 2 lines and a circle on our paper. 2 lines and 1 circle. Moving forward. Now what you would do is draw 2 additional lines. Create an X. Now, I suggest, for purposes of you don't have a measuring tool, approach this. Hold on, where we at? Okay. Approach this section. You're drawing your line like a Y, like how you draw your capital letter Y. Take that line angle here and meet here. And then you take the other side in here. And you're drawing the letter Y. So kind of not in the center. You want to kind of bring it up and carry it all the way across. Go through that center line. And the same with the other side of that letter Y. And carry it across here. Through the center line. Through the center point. And that's what I have here. So we're creating 2 more lines. And again, this part of the class is for people who are freehanding their lines. They don't have the measuring tools that some people have, or they don't choose to use them. But I've had my share of students where I say draw the line, and we working together, and they breaking out protractors, compasses, all types of things, rulers of all types, measurement tools. So I'm gonna give everyone a moment to get this together. Again, approach this as the letter Y, because we need 12 parts of this chart. So we got a few more lines to draw. I'm gonna leave y'all in some peace without my voice, some silence for a few moments. Get your chart together. Now, as everyone's working on their chart, I gave y'all some quiet time, some peace without me. I'm back. I'm here. Okay. As everyone works on their lines, I will be going back and forth so y'all can see the advancement of the chart. While at the same time, we have already discussed the ascendant, the first house. We're going to look at the 4th house. Again, it's called the Imam Che Li. And on our chart so far, we have the 4th house. So I'm going to discuss some of that part of the chart right now. Again, this 4th house is one of the 4 major angles in the birth chart we discussed earlier. And this 4th house sits opposite your 10th house, the midhaven. I discussed opposite parts of the chart earlier, and the houses, with the houses. And definitely opposite sections of your house affects the other side. Okay. So the 4th house, again, generally speaking, again, we have our own interpretations, is known as the house of home and family. It is traditionally ruled by Cancer and the moon. So we speaking on your upbringing here. Y'all still working on those charts? Okay. So, I'm going to go into doing some 4th house readings for the signs. And we're going to start with Aries. And so again, these readings, you know what? Let me do something else first, because some people's like, I don't know my sign. So we're looking at it from the viewpoint of when is your birthday? March 21st through April 19th, you will be considered an Aries, and I am speaking to you while everyone is getting their birth charts up to date. Okay, so Aries, your fourth house. Imam Chayli, Imam Chayli, for those who are using that term for their fourth house. So Aries, your childhood taught you how to become independent, self-sufficient. It created a lot of playfulness, competition, and motivational energy at home within your immediate family. Y'all getting your charts ready together? I'm gonna do Taurus, and then we're gonna move on in the chart, drawing our charts. For those who are not familiar, Taurus, you don't know, because again, we're looking at this from a beginner's basic starting out point of view. If you know good, and I'm about to have your reading in a few. Taurus, we're doing fourth house readings. So Taurus, you would be considered by the dates of April 20th through May 20th. Okay. You have the values of stability and establishing roots, strong roots. You enjoy being around artistic or being in artistic, beautiful, earthy environments, settings, earthy settings. And this would be that, speaking of extra food, you have a lot of food in your living space. Good food. You enjoy your television and a comfortable place at nighttime. So your bedroom area. And this is what your childhood, your home and family environment, your upbringing has brought to you and or will bring to you. I don't know how old we are in this class. Where I'm at. Okay. So now I am going back to the PowerPoint. We're going to advance and look more in our chart. So we have our Y examples on getting these lines in here. Now, we did our Y's here. We came down. Next, we're going to come across in here and draw these lines. I don't know how y'all want to turn y'all paper and look at that, but these lines that are purple, these are the lines we're adding in now. And we're not yet at 12 points. So this is for the part of the class that's freehanding their charts. This is where we're at and what you all need to draw to get your points. You're freehanding to get your points in for the class. And remember that center point. So as you're crossing through that center point, if you're going to want blank center, you may want to like have your lines fade as you get in the center so they're easier to cover up and or erase. So, fourth house readings, we're looking at Gemini. And if your birthday is May 21st through June 20th, you would be considered a Gemini. And right now I'm doing fourth house readings, so I'm talking to you right now. So you love to learn. You had siblings at home. They definitely may have influenced your upbringing. You enjoyed the noise that surrounded you in your childhood. You value excitement. So you had an exciting, busy, moving, a lot of motion in your home. And you enjoy books and technology because of your environment, your childhood environment. And we're discussing fourth house. We're also looking back at this chart. People are working on their lines. I'm gonna leave this here for you all for a moment. Fourth house readings. I'll be with Cancer next. Cancer next. Okay, everyone's working on their lines on their chart. Cancer, considered by the dates June 21st through July 22nd. And I'm gonna put this chart back up here while I talk to the Cancer people in regards to their fourth house, your childhood upbringing and how it affects your life. Food. I eat food as well as Taurus. Lots of love. You know, how it affected you, what you did with it, but there's lots of love in your home. Hopefully it was there for you to recognize it. And definitely your environment is for family gatherings. There's a lot of safety, security in the home. So with that being mentioned, my bad, y'all, saying so. Had to get that. Celebration. So birthdays, holidays have been important. And you definitely need in your home to have that family feel and the safe haven, the security that I mentioned earlier from the outside world, the outside environment. So everything outside your door of your home is what it is. But in your home, you need to feel safe. And for you, family comes first. Family will be first. All right. Everyone working on their lines. We good? Let's move forward with the lines. Now, you need the lines. So there's some more lines we had to put in there. That's what. No, that's your 12. That's your 12 right there. That's your 12. My line's a little off, like I said. I did my best on this screen to adjust my lines. And again, as a reminder, the houses are labeled 1 to 12 counterclockwise. We're not labeling right now, but just a reminder. I'm gonna leave y'all right here with this reminder. All right, everyone got their reminder? We ready? All right. Activity. So, activity. just the activity time. So everyone who wants to participate, but you're not interested or prepared to look into your birth chart, and this definitely for those who we are working on our birth charts and drawing those out together, this activity helps you prepare to read your birth chart and to examine the parts of your birth chart other than your sun sign. A lot of people, for some reason, and it's just for some of us, it's how we were taught. We like to focus on our sun sign. Your chart is your chart. So the entire thing applies to you when and if you choose to apply it. So this is us looking beyond our sun sign. That's what this activity is for. And or use it for how you want to use it. So Cancer. Okay. So when I start back the 4th house readings, I will be beginning with Leo. Right now, this is what I like everyone to do. Starting with the 1st house. And this is for everyone participating in the activity. We're going to add in these dates on the chart for this activity. So I'm gonna roll back, and actually you can work on this activity while I do 4th house readings, resuming with Leo once I get to that. So this is what we're gonna do. In the 1st house, put the dates March 21st through April 19th. And Aries. The Aries glyph is under the head of the ram. So if you want to draw the glyph versus writing out the name Aries, you can do that too. Again, it's your chart. Do how you want. But we are now in the activity portion of today's classroom environment. So everyone here for a broadcast, this is not a broadcast. This is me bringing my astrology class to the public. So right now we are filling in placement 1 right here. Put in the dates and or the glyph or name of Aries, the word Aries. That's what we're doing. Everyone has that. We're moving on to the second portion. Okay. And in the second space, we are putting Taurus. So the dates would be April 20th through May 20th. And the glyph for Taurus, if you're using it, is next to the left of the name Taurus in this image. So everyone get your dates, label it Taurus by glyph or by name, and then we'll be moving forward. By now, we see a pattern here. House 1 has Aries in it. I mean, space number 1, segment portion number 1 of the chart. The second section has Taurus. So I'm going to share these dates and signs, zodiac signs, and you just go around the chart and fill it in. So next we have Gemini. May 21st through June 20th. The Gemini glyph in this image is under the feet of the personification of Gemini on the left. Or however you want to do it. Depending on how you turn your chart, your glyphs is going to look like this either way, whichever glyph on this page you choose to use. Depending on how you turn your chart, you're going to see it either way. Adding Cancer to your chart. Next, we're adding Leo. Now, while you do that, everybody has their pattern of working, so you know what's expected. At this point, I'm going to continue these fourth house readings as together we work and fill in the dates and names and or glyphs of the zodiac sign in these charts we're working on for our activity. Because this is part of the activity. You need this information in the chart to continue this activity. This activity, I will we'll get it filled in with the dates and the zodiac signs and or glyphs, labeling all 12 parts. And I will give you the instruction and you will work on the activity when you want to. It's not a part of today's class to have it complete. So this will be homework. And I'm looking forward to feedback from your completed activity in a future class, which means I look forward to seeing everyone in the next class, a future class. All right, activity. And while we're working on that, Leo, house 4 readings, fourth house readings, the Imam Che Li. Okay. Leos, y'all was able to express yourself as a child, and support was there. That went well. There is focus on your private life. At home, there was no shortage of entertainment. You was probably the one on stage, spotlight, center stage, a lot of energy, and of course, excitement in such an environment. And you enjoy your space at home for these reasons. All right. Next is Virgo. We're filling in our charts and listening to the readings. So Virgo, August 23rd through September 22nd. I'm talking to you. There was either no order in your home as a child, or it was the primary teaching values in the home. Either way, it's left an impression on you. And so that means your home is kind of in order. You tidy up, your dishes is clean, your bed's made. There's some order there. And most times people with orderly houses, things they have a lot of comfort because things aren't dirty and just building up dirty. There's a lot of comfort there. And you stay busy either with the tidiness, the orderliness, and or the things you're able to do because of the order in your home. And that creates conversations. and the clean, clear space for new ventures. You learn new things. There's always room for new things and learning. So next, we moving forward to Libra. We're filling in our charts. We just completed Virgo, and next we are adding in Libra. The dates: September 23rd through October 22nd. The word Libra and/or the glyphs. We're doing that, and we're adding that to our charts. Libra, your childhood. A lot of love. It was the other side. It did the beauty, art. It was the beauty, the art, according to your fourth house. And the peace, as what comes with most times beauty and art. The love for peace and your need for a peaceful home. Arguments, bickering, debates, all that stuff. That's not like allowed in your home. And you cut that short real quick with your fair point of view, personality type. And so, speaking of entertaining, and speaking of, here y'all go, y'all chart. Y'all working on your charts. And speaking of having company, entertainment, people love to be at your home. You're a great hostess, and you probably have great, what you call it? Great events at your home. I'm speaking from a platform point of view. So events like parties, celebrations at your home. And next, we're going to be looking at Scorpio. Everybody's filling in their chart. Scorpio, October 23rd through November 21st. So everyone filling in that information, plus and/or the glyph and/or the name, word Scorpio. Scorpio, childhood. You had a lot going on in your childhood. Let's see. You might have been scarred by an event, scarred mentally, psychologically in your childhood. Somebody might have passed away, one of your loved ones, and things like that would be have this effect on your adulthood. You as an adult, you do your best and work on creating that safe home environment, that and that loving space environment to make up for what you didn't have in life as a child. Whatever that traumatic experience was, you do your best to make up for that, for your family, your loved ones in your life. Sagittarius. So right now, I'm said to be born Sagittarius, so I guess I'm speaking to myself right now. November 22nd through December 21st. Childhood, fourth house readings for Sagittarius. Early life. Dora the Explorer. I'll be saying that about myself too. Sometimes I call myself Dora the Explorer. Or y'all heard me mention my gypsy blood. So, and that I picked up when I started on this platform. I realized how much I like to move around and travel. And with actually me, myself, my children are grown, so I now have the freedom, so to speak, to move around and move about, and I actually enjoy it. I enjoy seeing everyone on my tours and at these events and gatherings, and of course, y'all know I like to learn. There's optimism in my childhood. I done made this personal. Hold on, Sagittarius. So there's a lot of optimism there was in the home, and it stays with the Sages in life. There was a Sag in here, or John's son in here, the fellow Sag. Space is important, and freedom to be able to move about. How the Sag moves about, and Dora the Explorer. Home life. Blocked in, caged in, that can't even happen. There must be the freedom in your home. So a lot of traveling and stuff. All right. Charts. Everybody feeling their charts. We're gonna do Capricorn next. Yep, Capricorn's next. Y'all almost done filling in this chart. Y'all ready for Capricorn? Dates, glyphs. All right, here y'all go. Let's go. Capricorn is one of them. There's like more than one version of the glyph, the sign, the symbol. So choose one. Put them both in there, because sometimes when we looking at or interpreting our charts, or someone else is interpreting our charts for us, they'll have the other glyph. So if you only know one glyph, you may not be quick to recognize what symbol or image that is on the chart that someone else prepared for you. And or when you're studying astrology, you may not quickly recognize the symbol in which you're reading, and to not cause any confusion. So be aware, as the Karmic Dynasty platform has previously pointed out, there are different glyphs for some of these, for things sometimes. And definitely some have, in Western astrology, ancient symbols and modern day symbols, glyphs. So again, at some point, someone determined that a glyph was ancient, outdated, expired, and a modern glyph was created. So while y'all working on this Capricorn information in your chart, I'm doing the Capricorn reading, 4th house, Imam Che Lee. So cold home environment for the Capricorn. Proving yourself. You have to prove yourself. So you tend to will as an adult. I'd like to think I'm not talking to any children in here in this classroom, but it is a public class. I do not have up my parental advisory on the channel today. Again, it's a classroom environment, so definitely a learning place. Let's see. Capricorn, still reading with you. Capricorn, still reading with you. So you tend to show your nurturing side when you're out in the world. You tend to be more nurturing, but you definitely have some obstacles, some challenges as a child. And so in your home will be the place where you re-examine and look at your things to accomplish in life. But you definitely prefer to be receive some of that nurturing energy when you're outside your home. So outside, inside. And next I am going to be looking at Aquarius. And let's see. Hold on right quick. Y'all know what, right quick? Speaking of glyphs, Capricorn has a lot, ancient and other things. So these are some of the glyphs, for example, in other manners and ways. Just needed y'all to see that. Okay. Aquarius. We almost done. Y'all chart is almost full. We almost at the end of filling in these charts for the activity. And again, I asked everyone to make copies or prepare to make copies because the birth charts, we need to have those filled in if you're participating. So Aquarius, January 20th through February 18th. The glyph is the wavy lines on the shoulders of this person on your right, and or mark it Aquarius, the word Aquarius. So Aquarius, you had a encouraging childhood, their home space, things that were outside of the norm, eclectic, eccentric, weird, just things that were different. And you had the freedom to be yourself at your home with all of these all of these I'm drawing a blank attributes to your home, these traits of your home, the weird stuff, the eccentric stuff. So definitely you had the freedom to be yourself, and I don't see where you would have a problem with that, so that's cool. It's important that, of course, then you have new things in your life surrounded in your home, like information and technology. And so definitely in your home as an adult, it's definitely a place where you will be yourself. All the different things, the weird things, and definitely different and updated technology, those things, I see them in your home. And Pisces is last but not least. And I say that also because you'll see in my intro and outro for my astrology class, I started it out with Scorpio. I'm a person, personally, I dislike so-called order sometimes, like how in situations like the classroom environment, and there are things that need to be done. The classroom, the students are always sorted alphabetically by last name, the A's through the Z's. So you see it on my chart, my last name, turnip seed. So my T, I had to, you know how irritating it was sometimes to wait for all them kids to go first before me year after year after year in school. So that's why in my intro, I have Scorpio first. Because when it comes to astrology, this Western astrology, I just really gets on my nerves for Aries to always be first. And then, the Aries, of course, always expect to be first. So what I've seen, of course, is when there are astrology readings in general, 1 through 12 signs, Zodiac always know they sign gonna be first. And of course, my sign said sign is Sagittarius, so I gotta wait through till all them other signs go first. It's like I'm always at the back of the line. Right now, that was my personal rant, my little temper tantrum. I guess I done tapped into my childhood. We doing childhood 4th house readings. And Pisces is last. Hating it for Pisces. I know how I feel. They be last. How they group us up. Pisces. There was a parent missing. We talked about the missing, was it the missing absent parent last night? Yeah, when I did the astrological dice reading, because in this astrology class, I may use those astrological dice sometimes for illustration purposes. So I put them up here. We're filling in our charts. Thank you for the activity ahead. Pisces. Now, again, as we mentioned last night, it could be due to health issues, like the parent was there, but they weren't fully a part of your life, involved day to day, because they couldn't be, but they were there in the home. So you kind of based on those experiences, you keep your home kind of private. And so outside your home, that door, you want to be inside and escape from life, from things outside. And so you have your peace and comfort in your home, and that is important for you. And there was those things you was missing. That, I ain't gonna say missing, they weren't there maybe how you say that they should have been there. All right. Okay, now the activity. Okay, we done. Now we need a description for our activity. Everyone has their chart filled in for the activity. You have 12 signs, you have some dates, and you have a glyph and or the name word of the sign, the zodiac sign. Now, this is what you're going to do, your homework, and then I'm going to finish my presentation. But these are the instructions for the activity now that you have it all filled in. All right. So, now y'all probably along the way, y'all ahead of it and don't even know it. Now, we filled in the birth dates. Was somebody out there like, oh, I know Leo, my friend, her birthday is July 26th. Or you was filling out the chart and you have your mom and dad's information up there. You have their date of birth, or a matter of fact, your own. When we were filling in the dates, you was like, oh, that's my birthday in there. I need to bring this PowerPoint back up. So excuse my clicking. I was like, that's my birthday. That's what this activity is for. To help understand the knowledge of the parts of the chart and how to apply them to yourself as a whole and not focus primarily on your sun chart. This activity, you will be filling in the names of people's birth dates and or important dates. So weddings, graduation is graduation season, important dates in your life and or birthdays. You'll fill those in. Now, the objective here is to realize as you get into your chart reading. Again, this is my second example of mine. So the other one was a little polished up. This one is worked like a white paper, like yours is. So I don't know, some of y'all got colored construction paper and stuff going on. So in the first house on here, for example, I have my grandmother. This is when her birthday is in this area. So when I am looking at my chart and there are all these symbols in here and you're like, what is this red symbol right here? And what does that mean? So as you're filling this in with important dates and people's birthdays, for example, me, my grandmother is here. My one grandmother, she right here. So whenever it comes to Leo, which is what this zodiac sign is here, and you should have something like this or the name, the word Leo on your chart. Then we do Aries. We did Aries, but example, I'm on Leo. When it comes to the Leo, I look at my grandma as the illustration to identify what Leo is and or looks like. Okay. Here in Libra, I have one of my grandchildren. Virgo. These two. Libra scales. Okay. I have in Virgo one of my grandchildren. So when there's a part of the chart and I hear Virgo, I tend to look at that grandchild as an example. So if I am said to have Virgo traits in my chart, and I say, okay, well, so my grandchild does this, this, and this. Okay, so yeah, I do. Okay, so when I am doing these, showing these behaviors, I'm familiar because they're similar to the behaviors or traits of one of my grandchildren. So that's the purpose of this activity. This again is homework. Bring it back and or share your feedback, and we'll be looking at completing the filling in this chart. Birthdays, special event days, weddings, graduations, your first job, your first child being born. Of course, that's their birthday, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know, the first day that you started your business, all this good stuff. For example, okay, I'm not here to completely guide you through. I want us all to, as I mentioned on slide 1, look at the interpretation, your own interpretation of your birth chart. You want to get that in before other people want to start trying to tell you who you are and what your traits and behaviors and personalities are in regards to a birth chart. And at the same time, know, while I'm speaking on it, these birth charts are ever changing. Regardless of what the chart says, you, of course, have the free will, the right, the ability, and the interpretation of your life to change the chart. Any chart readings, you have the freedom, flexibility of space to change it. So don't let these charts restrict you in your growth as a person or in any other manner. All right. What else did I want to share? Okay, so we got to finish out this PowerPoint. Ain't too much left. Now, when it comes to, we looked at my chart. I already mentioned my Sagittarius, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right here, I need us all to know why this picture right here is an explanation of why astrology is even on the Karmic Dynasty platform. This right here, besides the glyphs changing, the glyphs either ancient, outdated, and they got the modern glyphs. This picture right here explains also why astrology is even on Karmic Dynasty. Because as we see here, I was born on a Sunday, November 24th, 1974. That's what my charts say right here. The 24th of November, 1974. This is military time, 9:32 p.m. Now, we're looking at sun charts. I've talked to y'all a number of times, even just a few moments ago, about your sun sign. Don't get caught up in the sun sign. Now, the sun is here. You see the word the sun? But this is not Sagittarius. This is the Scorpio constellation. Will you see that? Scorpius. Only thing missing from here is the S. And my bad, I didn't screenshot it. Now, for those of you who's already involved and you're aware of your chart, and or you not even start learning how your chart rolls yet, this is an app you can get in your phone. Definitely iPhone. Now, Android, I don't know, but iPhone users, it's called Luminous Pro. LUMINOS, and then the word Pro. Luminous Pro. It's free. You go in there. They have this dial with the date on it, and you can go in and you can change the month right here, then the day and the year and the time. So you can do this for yourself, your friends, your family, and you can learn a whole lot. So this is why sometimes you will hear me say I'm Sagittarius, depends on the conversation, and sometimes you'll hear me say that I'm a Scorpio, depends on the conversation. Depends on the conversation. I say a lot of things in regards to astrology, and my date of birth depends on the conversation. Depends on the environment, depends on what company I'm in. Okay, we're seeing that. All right, so far as my presentation, this is all I have. Now, another tool, we're looking at the sky, would be the skyandtelescope.org website. And then you can have another viewpoint perspective of the sky. So here's an example. And as we see here, I put in my date of birth and time here. And over here, we have, this is the northern hemisphere. I needed to see that, which is the unseen part below the horizon on the birth chart, on any chart. So over here, we have the magnified view of which you choose and select over here. So first we have Cassiopeia here. So right here, you'll see me moving the green square. And over here, we can see the magnified view of what I am searching here. So here we'll go over to Saturn in Gemini on the date of my birth, at the moment of my birth. So that means when I look off my chart in Gemini, I should see Saturn. That's my thinking. And when I don't, I question that. But anyway, that's going into a personal journey. I just came here to share with you all this classroom setting. This is not a broadcast. This is not a broadcast. This is my astrology class made public. And again, if you have any questions, you want to discuss something one-on-one or bring your own group and we discuss it privately in a group private class. I do not charge for my private classes. That's why I'm able to bring this public. So again, someone asked me how much are my classes? They're free. And here goes the evidence. This class out loud in the public on YouTube and Facebook. I do, however, of course, accept donations. That's why you see my Cash App and my PayPal and my ticker below. The part moving on your screen at the bottom. And my email address and my phone number. You contact me. You can also inbox me on Facebook. And for the record, my tax classes and my small business consultations are managed the same way, privately. And according to conversations, I need to be thinking of bringing a few of those to the platform publicly. So, I appreciate you all being here. This was a great experience, being able to share publicly and navigate the classroom. And I appreciate everyone for the respect during class and being mindful of your fellow student, learner, observer. And I will be here once a week with these classes. And as always, enjoy your self-preservation. Goodbye.